Hey guys, my name is George and welcome to yet another Java video tutorial here on the channel. Today we're going to learn about arrays in Java, and what an array is basically a place where you can store multiple variables at once. So previously in this series what we learned is that we can create a variable by using for example this syntax over here. With this we can create one single integer variable. Okay, so we can use that variable to store data, for example a number, but we can use one variable to also store multiple values inside it. So we can not just only store the number 10, but we can store for example 11, 12, and so on. So the way to create an array is pretty much really similar to the way we create normal variables. However, we need to use square brackets. Now, you can use the square brackets right after the variable type declaration over here. For example, if you're creating integer variables, you can put the square bracket right after it. Or even if you're using strings, you can also put it like there, like that. You can also put the square bracket after the name of your variable like this. Okay, so this will create or will basically declare your array. So this variable x is going to be an array. Now to actually create the array, what you need to do is that you need to specify a size, and this is because arrays in Java they have limits. So an array can store maybe a maximum number of n variables that could be 10, 100, 1000, who knows, it could be a lot. Okay, but you need to define the size of your array, meaning the number of variables that you can store in it. So for that you can type in x, then equals, and the way to create the actual array is typing new, then the type of your variable, use square brackets, and here you will type in the size of this array. If you want to store 10 values inside this array, you can type in 10, which will be the size of the array. Okay, so this array x will be useful to store no more than 10 numbers inside it. Now to access the actual values inside this array, what you need to do is the following. You can access them by typing in x, then open square brackets, and we're going to use something called an index. And basically the index is the position of the actual value inside this array. So if you want to access the first value or data that you want to store in this array, you can access it by using the 0 index. So this will be the first position inside the array. It is always going to be 0. So you can say x at the position 0 is going to be the same as 10. Okay, so if you go ahead and print out x at the position 0, you will see that 10 printed out on the console over here. So just wait a little bit until it compiles, and here it is, 10. Now what happens to the other values that we can access inside this array? If we want to access the last value in this array, it will be at the position number 1, at the index 9. And why is it 9 and not 10? Well, basically because we can only store 10 values. However, since the first index is 0, then if you continue to the 10th, it will be index 9. So it will be like the size minus 1. That will be the last value inside the array. So I can say that the last position will contain minus 7. So if I print out the last one, you will see that I have minus 7 over here. Okay, now, and what happens to the other values in the other positions? Well, basically they will be either empty, or since we're using numbers, we will get a value of 0. So if we try to access the 5th position, which is actually with the 5th index, it will be like the 6th position, it will be 0. And this is because we haven't stored any value inside this array. Now there's also another way to create arrays, and it is the following. I'm going to erase this for a little bit, and you can use brackets and you can define the values directly by separating them with commas. So you can say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, so just like this. Okay, by the way, you also need to do it at the same time that you create the array. So this is the only way to do this technique. If you create the array and then you say x equals all this, it won't work. You need to do it all in one in the same line at the same moment that you create this array. And if you try to access, for example, the first position in this array, as you can see, there are 10 numbers in this array, so there are obviously 10 positions starting with 0 and ending with 9. You will see the result over here, and you can also see, for example, the ninth position will get you the 10 value over here. So these are the two ways of creating arrays, guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed this tutorial. I'm going to leave this tutorial over here for now, and later on maybe we can do some more exercises with arrays. So that being all, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, don't forget to click on the like button below, and also leave a comment or subscribe to my channel for more videos. So see you guys later, and have a nice day. Bye bye.